And I'm Josephine.
And we are from Los Bitchos, and we are here today for Premier Guitar's Big Five.
My favourite bass is this Fender Jazz that I got. I got it right here. It's actually a new addition to my bass family, and it's a Fender Jazz Player Plus. This is one of their new models that came out this year, and yeah, she's lovely to play, and because she's new, so it's like new Crush vibes right now. I really like that it's quite versatile. It's got a little nifty sort of double, pulling up higher. You can have a switch between active and passive. I'm more of a passive girl, I have to say, but I like having the options there because you can kind of make use of both into like different rooms, different amps, different vibes that you want to go with. You got the option right at hand, which I think is great. Yeah, it's just a really solid sort of jazz bass tone, and I usually have them all like the volume on both up to the top, and then more sort of adjust the amp to make the tone I like.
You can see that my guitar wall over there is a little bit bare because I had to leave some of my guitars at our rehearsal studio today, but that's okay, because I can take you to my favourite, very first guitar that my mother ever bought for me. And this is a Lag Jet. It's a French guitar. It looks like this. Really, really small neck, good for my little hands. And it was like the first time I saw this guitar, I just fell so in love with it. I loved the colour. I love the fact that it was so playable. It's like I've never had to set this guitar up. It was just perfect from the get-go, and yeah, I just think it sounds amazing. It's got a fantastic set of single coil pickups, and it's got a really great setting that I think it's like a blend of these two ones, and it gives that like really cool, it's like a really cool 80s funk, like think, like kind of really trebly. And I love it. It just makes me so happy. I've rarely seen these guitars anywhere else. I think that's one thing that I really like about it as well. It's like I feel a bit special that I've managed to somehow find one in Perth, Western Australia. Yeah, I counted it, make it there. Before this guitar, I was always practicing on my brother's Les Paul. But they're so heavy, for me anyway. So like I was always really struggling, and like the fretboard, like the neck was really wide, and like I just couldn't do it. So then when I saw this, I was like, perfect. It's very much like a home guitar for me, because I think the difference between, like your workhorse or the guitar you take out on tour compared to the stuff that you have at home, it's a bit of a different ball game, because when I'm playing live, I tend to favor the humbucker pickup a little bit more, just because of the beefiness of the sound, and I want it, it's the live show that we do is a lot different to what you're hearing on the record, so what we're doing in the studio. But this is like, I don't know, even if it doesn't come on the road with me all the time, it's always got that little place in my heart. The other thing I actually do really like about it, which I will just put in there, I enjoy the simplicity. Volume, tone, pickups, done. That's what I like.
Nice. Straight to the point. It's ABBA Gold Album. I just love it. It's just, I mean, obviously I'm from Sweden. It's just such a part of our identity is the Swede, I think. But it's just always puts me in such a good mood. On my keychain, I have this USB stick. Hold on, I'm gonna show it. This guy. That contains the ABBA Gold Album, and I carry it with me everywhere. So just in case you come to a party, something goes horribly wrong, and there is no internet, no music, I can save the party with the ABBA Gold Album. I've had this on here for years.
I don't know if I've just not listened, or you're a legend, man. That's such a good idea.
I recently had to whip it out at New Year's Eve. And everyone had a really good time.
Yeah, they would. Well, my one, it's the debut album from Van Halen. I listened to this this album, like from start to finish on repeat when I was at university. I remember like I had an iPod, and I'd just go and like I'd be going to uni and I'd be like pumping myself up. And I'm not even kidding, like I don't even think there's a song on that album that I don't love. It's energy from start to finish, and it's like every single song has something so mind-bendingly amazing going on, guitar-wise, drum-wise, bass-wise. David Lee Roth just out of control on vocals. It's just such a good album, and I just like the musicianship is just outstanding. It just makes me feel so good, so pumped up, and so inspired, because it's like when you hear that, you're like, God, I want to do that. I want to make music that makes me feel like that.
I don't know. I think it's when people use the song as their sort of personal showcase, as opposed to actually playing what the song would benefit from. I mean, I just so often just feel like less is more, especially in bass playing. I find like you can play one note and you might be just the grooviest one note you'll ever play, and that might be what the song needs. And if that is the case, then that's all you should play, really.
My pet peeve is that I think sometimes there is a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe like elitism amongst players for anything. And everyone has got their own individual style, their own way of playing. And I think that's what makes music so great, because you're playing something how you're playing it. It may not be the best thing that you're doing in the whole world. It may not be the worst thing. It may not be, you know, the standard, you know, way to play something, but it's your way of playing. And I think sometimes people, I mean, we've all done this, but people can, you know, they can bully others a little bit from that if they're not playing the certain way, or if it's, you know, someone makes a mistake somewhere, and it's just like those mistakes and that feel is just what the person's doing it. Like, just let it go. You can't keep forcing, or you can't keep telling people that this is, you know, you've got to play it this way, this is the way to go, you have to go on this path. Or, you know, oh, what does that sound like, what does this sound like? It's like, no, you just got to be a bit kind after a while. Like, if you don't like something, that's totally fine. I mean, I don't like stuff, but I don't go and, you know, troll people about it. You know, that person's doing what they're doing. Just let it be. Whether it's the best thing that, like, or the worst thing, or it sounds great or it sounds okay, you just got to let people be. Mine is Jerry Cantrell. I love Alice in Chains so much. Jerry's playing, it's so intricate, and it's just the stuff that band has come up with. It's been so inspirational. Like, those are even just some of the first songs I learnt on guitar. I mean, not the solos or anything like that, but just like the rhythm guitar bits and just how they construct melodies and songs. I think Jerry's got to be one of the greatest guitarmen out there. Heaven Beside You is probably like one of my favorite guitar tracks ever.
So my bass here, I think maybe it will be a bit unexpected, because it's more of an artist that I've discovered quite recently. I love the guy called Donny Bene. He's from Australia, and I think he records all his songs, like all the different instruments himself, or a lot of them anyways. But what he does specifically really well is playing bass, and I think that is his main instrument, if I've researched him enough and got that right. But yeah, he's incredible bass player, and he does it's just so groovy. It's just kind of that like retro sounding pop, but still like it's very sort of Bernard Edwards playing wise, but a sort of more modern take on it.
Wow,
it's brilliant. And when he like performs this, it's just like so effortless. So I'm just like, I just want to learn to play like him, even though it sounds nothing like the stuff we do.
Yeah,
like he's got like a fretless, and like I don't know, but I don't know, I just think he's so like, he's trying to be, I think when he does it, he's sort of going in for being like a sort of dorky, nerdy fun guy, but he does it in with such a humor that I think is, you know, going the complete other way, or I think he's just so cool. And he did a music video quite recently for, I think, for his latest album. What's the song called? It's called like Move On Up, I think it is. And it's just him in this like amazing outfit, and it's just rocking it on bass, and he's got like, oh, it's just so groovy. So yeah, he's like a big bass inspiration for me right now. Tequila? No. I think one secret weapon that I always stuck by playing is trying to actually minimize the things that can go wrong. So like if I can avoid using pedals or like extra sort of things to be added to the setup, then I will try and avoid it. It's just like if you got a good bass and you got a good amp, I think that's a really good weapon to have. And I don't think you need I mean, of course, it depends on what sort of style you're playing and stuff, but I think if you got that, that's really solid. And that's what I'm trying to stick to, because I think just less is more. There's less that can go wrong, and you just, I don't know, it's a big peace of mind, which makes me actually be able to enjoy performing more.
My one is a chorus pedal.
Yeah.
Everything sounds great through a chorus pedal. I don't care what anyone says. I love it. I love the sound. I would happily use it on any style of music.
That sounds good.
It just moves me in a way that I have never been moved before by any guitar sound. I think for me, I would never want to play guitar without the chorus tone. It's like, it mixes like, there's a little bit of sadness. There's just, I don't know, something, maybe it's just the oscillation of those waves. I don't know. But it just makes me feel like a little bit sad, but like in a good way. Like it's emotional. It puts emotion onto the guitar straight away. So it's a great platform, I think, to spring from. At the moment, I'm using the Neo clone, but I'm always looking out for that one that has that certain, you know, if there's an extra X Factor one out there, I don't know, someone let me know. Put them in the comments below.